Last week, the rolling hills of Spa-Francorchamps bore witness to another masterclass from Miguel Colon, who stormed to his fourth victory in just 5 entries, leaving the field in his wake with a commanding 10-second margin over Michael Odell. While Colon was untouchable, the action behind him told a different story. Pro points leader Corey Allen found himself in a spirited battle with AM-class standout Zack Saunders, who emerged victorious in his category. Meanwhile, Saunders' closest rival Martin Chang endured a challenging evening, limping home in 14th and falling 30 seconds behind the Ohioan. With just 2 rounds remaining after today, Suzuka and VIR, every lap matters, and every point could define a champion. We go green in Italy, next, live on ASN. Our venue for this evening is the virtual Mugello circuit, built in 1974 and located in the picturesque hills of Tuscany, Italy. Mugello is a 3.26-mile track known for its fast, flowing layout and stunning scenery. With 15 challenging turns, including the high-speed Erdebata corner, Mugello demands precision and bravery from drivers. A staple in motorcycle racing, it hosts the MotoGP Italian Grand Prix and also hosted the 2020 Tuscan Grand Prix in Formula One. Its technical complexity, elevation changes, and high-speed sections make it a favorite for drivers and a jewel of Italian motorsport. The format for the TORQ Sports Car Series is as follows. We are finishing open practice now, which leads us into a 3-lap, 15-minute qualifying session to determine the grid for our 45-minute race. Just a reminder, in TORQ, there is a field capacity of 48 cars, but we only have 36, so everybody will make the show. The 6th season of the TORQ Sports Car Series continues tonight live on the Automotive Sports Network, with Bryan Sawyer in the production truck and also next to me in the commentary box. My name is Josh Mertz as we welcome you to Florence, Italy. Cameras all season on ASN, brought to you by Whiplash SimCams. Be sure to check them out at facebook.com/WSimCams. And thank you, Andrew Cardinale IV, for your camera support. Mr. Bryan Sawyer, another decimating win by Miguel Colon. He is out front in practice so far. The championship is tightening up. So many storylines happening in the closing stages of this championship. How are you, and what are your thoughts?
Hey, Josh. Glad to be here. Gonna do a little bit of learning tonight. I downloaded this track about 20 minutes ago. But, yeah, just watching Miguel Colon. I mean, in practice, he's already 2.5 tenths up on his nearest competition. And, if all things hold, he tends to grow that. So it might be another runaway for him here tonight.
As coming into the 10th round of the championship standings look like this. In the pro class, in the Drivers' Championship, we have Corey Allen out front by 11 over Carlos Ramos.
That's
Edgar
the wrong
Ruiz.
button. There we go.
We're figuring it out together. Edgar Ruiz in 3rd, Parker Dime 4th, Ricardo Delgado, Coxon, Colon, Schofield, Odell, and Ritto. Tightening up at the top of this table, and Corey Allen has been in a spirited battle all season long. And in the AM class, Armando Arends by 23 points over Nathan Kretchmer, Darius Tim, Saunders, Chang, Vasquez, Fazillo, Seguenza, Smith, and Ryan, the top 10 there. And in the Teams Championship, Sim Racing PR is going to crack 1,000 points tonight. WBM Green sits in 2nd, Sim PR in 3rd, as we take a look down the order there. And the Manufacturers Championship, we've got Porsche on top ahead of McLaren, Ford, Ferrari, Corvette, BMW, Lamborghini, and Mercedes-Benz, and the 2 Italian manufacturers, 4th and 7th in that championship, as we head towards qualifying and our first car on track, Ian Bacadis, in the 000. Let's take a look at some programming notes as we get revved up for qualifying here in Mugello. And programming notes going to look pretty simple right now. We have round 11 of the TORQ Sports Car Series at Suzuka. What a wonderful track over in Japan. Going to see some undulation and elevation changes here and there as well. That's going to be next Thursday, the 19th of December, 8:30 p.m. Eastern, Reminder to everyone, I will be out, sinus surgery on Monday, so I'm going to be taking the week and recovering. You'll have Justin Robichaux filling in for me here on the Automotive Sports Network, and Bryan Sawyer, as always, in the production truck and alongside Justin for that. We close out the season right after the new year at VIR, and everything else listed there is the Saturday official rallycross splits, and that's a Bryan Sawyer thing. He has more details there.
You know, Josh, I am so excited. This is the last race I'm going to hear you, and then you're going to come back with a potentially new voice.
I'm scared, and I'm excited. I don't know what's going to happen, but we'll see. We'll see. Thrilled and scared and nice that I get to sleep in for a week and a half. No 5:30 alarms. That's going to be nice.
That'll be great.
As Bacchus in qualifying, and you'll have to forgive both of us here. The only race that I've ever watched at Mugello was the Tuscan Grand Prix in 2020. I watched Lewis Hamilton's onboard lap, and that was an incredible display of just driver and car. I believe Bacchus is heading towards turn 15, Bucine corner. And Bryan, I wonder if you can try that new feature that we've got and just put Bacchus on it.
I can
We're gonna figure it out live.
do Bacchus. I know how to do that.
Look at that.
I don't know
Bryan
how
Sawyer
to get
told
him.
me he had a...
I don't know how to get him on the track. He's next to the track, but I got him on the track.
Down the long front straightaway, we saw that massive crash in the 2020 Tuscan Grand Prix on the restart. Like there was 5 cars crashed at the start-finish line. Down to turn 1, San Donato, turn 2 and 3, kind of a chicane. We saw Max Verstappen end up in the gravel trap in that Grand Prix on lap number 1. Through this 80 miles an hour, kind of slow. You're going to see a lot of guys utilizing all of the curbs. You can go all the way out to the green AstroTurf on this track as we head towards Matarassi at Borgo St. Lorenzo, turns 4 and 5. Now, down the hill, 6 and 7, Casanova and Savelli. And just, the cameras don't do it justice here. This is a beautiful circuit in Italy. As remember, actually, Carlos Ramos, if we can jump ahead, Ramos is the first car on track. I think he got ahead of Bacchus somehow. He's going to be the one to set a lap time proper in the 9.93 up the hill, exiting the outer Bata corner. Looks like it's a double apex. 8-9 there. Through 10 and 11 and 12. I could utilize the corner numbers because I don't have the best Italian pronunciations. And I don't want to butcher anything, Bryan.
I want to hear it.
So,
I want to hear it.
You want to hear it?
All
Don't
the
pressure
Italian.
me like that.
All the Italian.
It requires practice. It's not happening. At least not right
know.
now. So, we'll see the first lap in qualifying. And I know we don't have a graphic for it yet, but just to let everybody know, obviously we can see that it's a foggy day here in Italy, 68 degrees, track temp still 93. And it's going to be interesting to see what these guys, with the new debris system, throwing gravel onto the track. Ramos crosses the line at the end of his first lap. 1 minute 48.649 is the benchmark in the Porsche. Bacchus 50.477. Saunders crosses the line. The first lap didn't count for him. We got Miguel Colon sneaking out of the pit lane as well. Schofield goes to 3rd quick. Dustin Doive goes to 4th quick. Kretchmer goes P1 at a 48.350. I'm going to keep an eye off monitor at Miguel Colon. As we've lost Will Roberts, he has dropped out of the session. Sosa goes to 6th at a 50.283. Jesse Coffey, 1 minute 48.768 as the times begin to roll in here. Like I said, off monitor, I'll keep an eye on Miguel Colon. Wilton Palermo goes to 6th in the 666 at a 1 minute 49.225. Edgar Ruiz, car number 80. I'm going to say it publicly. Thank you, Bryan, for that little graphic in the corner. When I look at the feed, I know what I'm talking about then. Makes me seem like I kind of know what I'm doing. As, like I said, I'm looking at Colon off monitors to see what's going to go on there. Ruiz goes to P3 at a 48.644. We take a look at Luis Lopez in the 0.77. And now Christian Oquendo in the 21. Coxon goes to 8th in the 23 at a 1 minute 49.281. He pointed out in practice, Bryan, the McLaren with the new build, a lot of setups were messed up, suspensions were messed up, and as well, I guess a tangent to that, I'm looking at the gravel that Miguel Colon is driving through. Race Control didn't clean up the gravel. So there's a lot of lot of things happening here, and we haven't even gotten to the race.
Yeah, so we didn't see much of it in the IndyCar race. People having issues with the gravel coming up onto the track. We might see more of it tonight. I mean, tonight might be the first night we really see people struggling with it. It's new to us. It's
Carlos
new to
Ramos.
all the drivers.
P1, 1 minute 48.153. Bacchus goes quicker to 11th. Juan Hidalgo, apologies there. 1 minute 50.243. Schofield to third, 48.372. Ricardo Delgado, 1 minute 48.004. He goes P1. Cartwright to 15th. Colon begins his first lap in the 87. Down the long front straightaway to San Donato, turn number 1 at the apex, 62 miles an hour for the McLaren up the hill. Raquena to 15. I think your track map broke, Brian.
Oh, no, I broke everything. I tried to do
ASM.
something fancy. I broke it.
Listen, we got JP DeFino hanging out, giving us some starry-eyed emojis. Ethan Halsey's internally saying the track map is awesome. Thank you, everyone, for your feedback and your support, of course. Just a reminder, if you like what you see, be sure to like and subscribe to the Automotive Sports Network. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, YouTube. Ring the bell to be notified of the live streams. Currently on Thursdays. We will have, of course, Saturdays. Going to have something every day of the week at some point in 2025. We've got some crew members getting trained up. We're going to have more than one producer, which is super cool. ASNTVUSA.com if you'd like your content broadcasted, or if you'd like to join the team, as Christian Oquendo to the top of the board by half a second, 1 minute 47.561 for the 21. Ramos in the 993 we look at on screen now, heading into the final corner, and I believe he is on his third and final lap. He's going to cross the start-finish line, currently sitting third. He's got to find half a second. Will he? Crossing the line in the Porsche. 1 minute 48.2. He does not. We go back to Miguel Colon, who is now in the final corner as well. And the man who has won 4 races in his 5 entries.
I've lost Miguel Colon.
Will cross the line. That's okay. I'll take us radio style while we fix it internally. Across the line for Colon. What does he set? 1 minute 47.781. He's 2/10 down on Oquendo, Bryan. That's a surprise. And Oquendo's given up his third lap. He's driving very slowly, so it's not going to be him on, or well, he's on provisional pole, but he doesn't have a way to respond.
Yeah, if you've given up that last lap, I mean, there's nothing you can do.
Allroyd to 18th in the 73. As next car to cross the line right now, as Will Roberts begins his qualifying run. I've got Guillermo Seguenza in the 26 crossing the line, 1 minute 49.4. Zack Saunders will cross the line next. He is currently sitting, well, he's not sitting anywhere. He hasn't clocked the lap that counted yet. So Saunders has this last chance, 1 minute 48.7. He goes to quickest. Dan Carrito, 1 minute 49.0. And where is Colon? Colon in turn 12 through the 13 and 14 Bayandetti chicane. And into the Bucine corner, turn 15. Very long corner, cambered corner. Easy and tempting to utilize all the way to the end of the track, but if you go all 4 off on the AstroTurf, it will not count. Colon very conservative on exit, does not use any curb. And the man who has decimated the field in the last couple weeks crosses the line on his second qualifying lap. 1 minute 47.0. There it is, Bryan. By half a second over Oquendo.
Say don't doubt him. He's known for just throwing down huge lap times.
It's just such impressive performances that we've seen from Colon. Let's run on board for this last lap or so, along with the 87. So, I thought that Miguel Colon was going to run a super fast lap, but I think he's realized that he set the benchmark, and the half a second, pretty hard to be beat. Although, let's try and find somebody that is on a lap here. Manuel Sandoval.
Why has everybody got a pit?
In the 420. He's going to be getting his second lap.
There we go.
There's only 4 or 5 cars on track. We look at Sandoval in the 420.
God. If I didn't know any better, Josh, it looks like it would rain.
You know, I was going to mention, as I caught myself on my tangents about the gravel, in practice they were driving through the gravel, and I said, it's not raining. Why does it look like it's raining? And that's how it's just so dusty with that, with the gravel they drive through. It's crazy. I'm hoping for some rain races. I think Ethan Halsey was saying for the Endurance Series, they're going to be seeing some rain. I hope.
Yeah, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I mean, unless the whole race is going to be rainy in a 45-minute race, you can't get much variation. It's always really cool to see the rain start and stop or end during the rain. It'd be cool to...
Sandoval
losing it a little bit
He
there.
saved it. What a move. That's down into turn... He's now into turn 10 and 11, I think.
But yeah, especially
Couple
if you
shout-outs.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Brian. Sorry.
I was gonna say if you got a few hour race and the first hour is rainy and then the next 2 hours it dries out over that's really fun. You get the people that know how to drive in the rain, and then he's pushing the car.
Sandoval's pushing. He almost dropped the left rear onto the dirt and would have looped it. Just a couple shout-outs. Zach Goddard hanging out with us. You're supposed to be driving. What are you doing? And JP DeFino will be back for a couple weeks at VIR. And then we've got Yunos Gonzalez watching from work. Go PR teams, he says. So welcome, my friend. Thanks for hanging out with us. Sandoval across the line in the 420. Where will he go? 1 minute 50.487, 30th quickest for the Porsche. And to put this into perspective, if I take a look back at the results, this is the man that finished second at Daytona in the season opener. 30th.
Gonna look at Morgan Smith. He's on his second lap. Something must have happened on his first. It didn't count. Technically, yeah, it was a 154.968, but it didn't count for anything.
Got some inside baseball from Zack Saunders, who popped into our stream chat on the wrong setup for
They'll do that.
Saunders. Yes, thank you, Moreau. I don't want to claim a beautifully handsome term, but that's what you said. So I'm just reading your comment. I appreciate you as we get ready to go green shortly here in Mugello. As Morgan Smith in the 58, Will Roberts, 9th, improves. And it might be the Josh and Bryan podcast here for the last couple minutes or so of qualifying. Sandoval in the 420. Where will he go on this last lap, pushing hard? I'm confused as to why the track wasn't cleaned off, like I said. I guess breaking the fourth wall of pinch right when we went on air. I couldn't listen to Ethan talk. I think he was talking to Coxon about it, and I missed it, obviously. So I don't know what happened in that 2 minutes of conversing. Here we are. Hopefully it's cleaned off of the race. If not, I guess it's just like when Global Rallycross had a random splash of water at Charlotte, and they called that the water feature. So, Sandoval across the line on his third and final lap. The second place man from Daytona, 1 minute 49.311, 21st quickest for the Porsche. And I say this every week, Brian, the man who was second at the beginning of the season, 21st. It's wild.
And that was it. Morgan Smith ran out of time. He didn't get to set a lap.
So a couple cars that did not set lap times. Donnie Heineman, my timing's all broken. I'll go over that in a minute. Let's take a look at the grid for Mugello, shall we? Miguel Colon, Christian Oquendo on the front row. Ricardo Delgado, David Schofield. Carlos Ramos, Brian Coxon. Nathan Kretchmer, looking good in the AM class in 7th. Ruiz, Robert Saunders, the top 10. In 11th, Miguel Acrudo, Jesse Coffey, Zach Goddard, Alberto Ramos. Apologies, I don't want to butcher that last part of that, so we're going to skip that. Rafael Sosa, Dustin DeVay, Dan Carrito, Chris Wilkie. I don't want to do it. I feel really bad. Chris Wilkie, Jose DeLeo, and Wilton Palermo through 20th. In 21st, Manuel Sandoval, Juan Chiriquena, Aaron Hallroyd, Guillermo Seguenza, James Kingsbury, Corey Allen, Darius Timms, Ian Bacadis, Juan Hidalgo, and Jeff Cartwright through 30th. 31st, Jeff Sepulveda, Eddie Boyles, Stephen Ryan, Fozzie Fazilla, who did not set a lap, Morgan Smith, who did not get a lap counted, I don't think either, Donnie Heineman and Luis Lopez, and Ethan Halsey, race control. Listed there, obviously he's not going to be on track. So 36 cars will take the green flag here in Italy. The track is a mess. I don't know if you can get a helicopter or blimp cam to show this gravel. The track is not clean.
Ooh.
I don't know if it comes across for everyone.
We can't see from the blimp tonight.
We can't see that. But I can tell you, I'm looking really close.
I can see some on the right side there.
Yeah.
Let's try and go further back down the field, see what we can see.
Look at the pace car if you can from that blimp cam. I don't know if that's where you were. But look at the right side. Look at the gravel.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a mess.
We can
this
go
is
back
gonna
here.
be
We can see it all along the right side of the track here. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting time.
It is part of the new update, Steven. You are correct. So,
I don't know if this is race control just not being used to this, or.
Well, they don't have Matty Grove spamming the track reset button every 3 seconds.
They don't have that.
So it could be. Just an update on the yapping jokes that have been given to us. Italian Moto Yap from Stephen Ryan. Ethan majored in Yapology, also Stephen Ryan. And Brian Coxon says we're at Yap Jello. So, just an update on that. But 36 cars we'll take to the track here in Mugello. This is going to be a good one. One car starting from the pit lane, Dan Corritto. I don't think he made it to the start because he said WTF in chat. And Will Roberts already said, I thought this was GT3 and not Rallycross. Well, we thought that as well. But here we are. So,
Josh, while we're on
our
this
way
pace lap, did you get your fancy update?
I did.
Oh,
I'm not going to use
look
it.
At all that
it's going to confuse me.
Look at all that dust.
And now, more than ever, these guys are going to have to clean off their tires because this track is going to be a mess on this first lap.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they had a 45-minute open practice where they just turned it into sand.
Alrighty. On the front row of the grid, Miguel Colon and Christian Oquendo, thanks for joining us on ASN. Round 10. Looks like they're racing Rallycross in the dark, but I promise, this is GT3s at Mugello as we get ready to go green in Italy. Green flag. Colon gets a great jump off the line. Oquendo and Delgado, it's side-by-side, Ramos and Schofield. Ramos nearly bump drafting Delgado down to the first corner. Kretchmer and Ruiz side-by-side in the back of the field. Roberts and Ramos to the first corner. Colon leads. Oquendo. Delgado looks inside. Schofield way offline, but everyone's going to be struggling with this dirt. We are clean through, I'd say, 15, 20 cars. No contact. Sepulveda and Timms in the back of the field, side-by-side, nearly touching. And through the first corner, through the first couple of corners, I should say. And look at the dust being kicked up. Colon still leads ahead of Oquendo, Delgado, Ramos. Do we get some side-by-side action? Jesse Coffey and Zach Goddard for the 12th and 13th spot. It is McLaren versus Mustang, and down the hill we go. Through 6, Casanova. Through 7, Savelli. And into the Arabata corners, 8 and 9. Double apex. Very wide. Very sweeping. And sweeping is something that they had to do before we went green. But I trust that these guys are going to honestly clean off the track once we get rolling and we get into a rhythm. But some of these guys going off, going wide. Sepulveda and Kingsbury, 25th and 26th, they're battling. Looking in the back of the field, Bacadis to the inside of Timms. We're 3 wide, and Kingsbury loses 2 spots. Timms muscled his way through to take that position. Not missing anything up front. Colon trying to pull away. I'd say the first 23 cars, single file, Guillermo Seguenza and Jeff Sepulveda for 24th and 25th were a side-by-side battle. Down to the final corner. Holroyd inside on DeLeo. Deep on the brakes is the McLaren. Can he take the spot on the Mustang? And now off the final corner. Down this super long front straightaway. We're going to see plenty of overtaking through here as Miguel Alcrudo to the pit lane in the 544. Not sure what happened there. Can we focus still? We look at DeLeo and Allen bump drafting down the front straightaway like it's Daytona. And on driver's left is Holroyd. Roberts and Goddard in, let's see, 11th and 12th, one car around. Dustin Doivay in the 81, tumbling down the order, and he is stationary. Now he's back going on track, trying to see what happened there, and it was Sosa who pushed wide in the first corner. So, Colon leads by a second over Wendo as the field starting to calm down, get into a rhythm.
Oh,
and what are we thinking, Bryan, after the first lap or so?
Well, Miguel Alcrudo had a... Whatever happened to him, we have this. I can show you all now. Look how far back he is from what I like to call the centipede. He is almost quarter track back there.
Hearing penalty, I think it's going to be for Sosa in the Mustang for that avoidable contact. We'll just have to wait and see when it pops up from race control. Juan Hidalgo is having immense connection issues, and Cartwright is calling this out over chat. And Cartwright slides it and utilizing the NASA experience, but into his teammate Eddie Boyles. One other car involved as well.
Is that the second week in a row that has happened? Didn't they come together?
Donnie Heineman. Sosa had his penalty, and Hidalgo has gotten, I think, disqualified from race control because he's gotten 3 warnings. And he's taken out a couple cars, I think, with that blinking. Down to the first corner. We look at Requena battling Holroyd, battling DeLeo. DeLeo looked inside. Allen deep on the brakes. Allen trapped in the back of the mid-pack in the 20. Can he get it done on the outside through turn 1? Now inside for turn 2. Takes the spot. Moves into 19th. And Hidalgo has gotten disqualified in the 0-23 for the connection issue.
Look at all this dirt coming off of these cars.
This is going to be gnarly.
I mean,
the tires heat up, the tires wear. Delgado off the road trying to catch Oquendo.
It's not too bad from Corey Allen's perspective, though. So it might just be an external view, us just looking at making it looks worse than it actually is. Oh, no, it's pretty bad. You get 2 or 3 cars like he's getting right now.
It looks like it's raining.
His car is just
getting
pelted.
I think, honestly, if you have those engine sounds up and we stop yapping, you can hear the gravel crashing into the car.
Yeah, we can do that.
I wanted to do that, but Requena's looking, trying to make a move on Holroyd, and it's okay through this 3rd sector, but that's first and second sector.
Yeah, you can
hear it. And it's accurately modeled. When you hit that gravel, it's not a fun time. I guess the only good thing is all of these guys are dealing with it. It's not like there's 1 or 2 guys that are dealing with it.
None of these cars are going to have paint jobs left.
2.5 seconds is the lead for Colon. Back to Oquendo, just to keep us updated there. Cartwright leaves the pit lane in the 355. This is the second time this season, second time in 2 weeks, that the Saints and Sinners boys came together. You brought that up as they were crashing. It was JP DeFino, and I think it was Cartwright last week at Spa that had those incidents. As Christmas tree timing for sure. And this is where it's so bad in the first sector. Like you're driving on ice, driving in rain, whatever it may be. Especially with the smoke from it, too. And everyone pretty single file.
You know, Josh, the only car that's not getting pelted right here on
camera.
Miguel
Colon.
He's not pelting anybody. He's not getting pelted.
I would almost say he's far enough ahead of Oquendo to where Oquendo's not getting it either.
Yeah.
But it looks like, I mean, if you're Delgado, that's got to be so distracting. At least when we translate it back to NASA Rallycross, but back when you're in a pack, regardless if it's dirt or gravel or whatever, you're behind someone you can't see. It sounds so silly to say out loud, but you can't see. You don't know where you're going. It kind of hinders your confidence a little bit. You wonder what's happening. Just an update, Zach Goddard moves by Coffee for 10th. That's a position change there, but yeah, I mean, I'd agree. Oquendo, he's kind of okay. Colon, no problem at all. And Delgado, first car really in traffic. Corey Allen and Wanchi Requena still battling for 18th.
Jose DeLeo trying to make the pass on Wanchi Requena.
Requena and DeLeo come together! And I thought DeLeo was going to lose it and slam into Allen. Not sure what happened there.
Oh, we can take a look back at that when it comes through.
Requena just veered in. We can pull it back up, but Requena just, it looked like turned in because DeLeo held his line, it looks like. Let's take a second look.
Just a little bit too far. We're going to professionally go backwards.
Through ASN standards. I promise we know what we're doing.
I do. I know where the rewind
So what had
button
happened?
is.
So DeLeo got a huge run on Requena. DeLeo goes to the outside, driver's right. You see, he doesn't move. Requena just drives into him.
I don't know. It's hard to watch it in real time, see who made the mistake, but I mean, that's a lot more dirt on track he just drug up back on.
Under review, says Ethan
like
Halsey.
Ed
Jeff
Boyles
Cartwright
Jr. also had an issue while we were
Cartwright
looking
drove
at
off
that
the
one.
road, staying out of the way. Eddie Boyles for Saints and Sinners. Let's see what had happened to him. Off the road.
Oh.
Snapped oversteer into the fence.
And brings more onto the track.
Wanchi Requena, drive-through penalty for the contact with DeLeo in the final corner.
Disqualification finally came through. Oh, Jeff Cartwright mowing the lawn.
So, taking a second look here. Is that DeLeo? Is that Cartwright in the 555? Wanchi Requena has been black flagged from race control. I don't think, I'm trying internally to hear everybody come across on the chat, but I don't think people are happy with the track state, with all this gravel. There are numerous guys talking about you can't see, you can't have any grip. I would say, though, I mean, everybody has to deal with it. Like I said earlier, it's not like it's one guy.
It's an everybody thing. Everybody's dealing with the same problem, except Miguel. It's no different than racing in the rain. It's actually much better than racing in the rain. When I like to humble myself when I'm practicing driving, I go hit the Rainmeister sessions. You get behind a couple cars there, you can't see anything. It is the spray up from the cars. You have no idea where the braking points are. If it's a track you are uncomfortable with, and a lot of drivers here might be uncomfortable with this track. It's not a commonly used track in iRacing. It's not the most popular. It's got a lot of awesome turns. This is my first time really paying attention to it. It's got a nice flow looking to it. So, but if you're not comfortable with the track and you got stuff flying in your face, that's just an extra layer that you probably don't want to deal with.
As plenty of people hanging out in our chat. We got 15, 16 of everybody hanging out. Thanks for joining us on the Automotive Sports Network, round 10 of season 6 of the TORQ Sports Car Series. We're looking at Bryan Coxon in the 23. We're about 10 minutes in. Race control says we're going to get about 26 laps at the current pace, so we'll just have to wait and see when Barney decides to throw that white flag and the checker flag later on. Zack Saunders has his windshield wipers on. The dust is that bad, Brian.
Yeah, I mean, your car has it. I mean, your windshield will get pretty dusty. But
kind of serving his penalty in the 2.
Taking a look at how spread out the pro class is. You got them pretty much all over the track. I'm gonna try and look at the AM class. I don't know how easy this is to do. Excuse me if this is not the most helpful, but I want to play with my new toy.
Okay. Welcome to ASN. We test things on the fly. That's
this is as on the fly as it gets. The update for our program came out probably about 2 hours before this race, and I go,
Real quick,
I
can
wanna
we go
use it.
up to Coffee and Alberto Ramos? They are battling for 11th.
Yes,
and
we can.
Coffee holds off.
Yeah, Will Roberts
Ramos
right
for
behind
now.
him, too. It's a 3-car battle.
And Will Roberts in the 8, livery inspired by the BMW Williams era. And he's all over the rear wing of Alberto Ramos in the 777. Coffee gets past. I think he got a slowdown in the 808. Sosa has a penalty that he has not served yet. I think actually he's serving it now, so apologies on that one. As looking through the field, just trying to find a battle right now. I'll tell you what, we talked about Colon pulling away. His last lap was a 1 minute 47.8. He's going to reset a new lap, ending lap 7. So let's put this into perspective. Colon crosses the line, 48.1. And second place, Oquendo crosses the line, 48.4.
Jeff Sepulveda just drove off the track. Got a little understeer. Caught the grass. Saved it. Good job saving himself. Got right back going.
Nearly came across in front of James Kingsbury, but good avoidance for the 328. Saved the car. No contact. And Oquendo and Delgado. Now, these guys have been equal on pace, battling for the second spot. We look on screen at Miguel Colon in the 544. Now this is
It's got a newcomer
back
to the
in the
series,
pack.
Luis Lopez, right behind him.
27th and 28th, Luis Lopez in the 077. That's a perfect segue into how many people have scored points now. After last week, 87 have scored points in the TORQ Sports Car Series this season.
On board
Incredible.
Edward Luis.
Riding on board in car number 80.
He's chasing
Catching
down Bryan
Coxon.
He should be passing
Coxon
him
dips
here.
the lefts into the corner.
Yeah, look how dirty
Looks like
that
this is turn
windshield
10.
is.
It looks like they're racing a rallycross track. This is crazy.
I was gonna say, as somebody who frequents the Ferrari GT3 on Crandon, this is what the windshield looks like when you do dirt.
What?
Don't question me.
I've never questioned you, Bryan Sawyer. Goddard and
It's a good
Saunders,
time.
battle of the Zacks, 9th and 10th. As Saunders, 1 minute 52.5. I think he made a massive mistake the last time around, trying to catch Goddard now. I'll take a look off monitor and see what had happened to Saunders, the winner from last week in the AM class. If he lost 3 seconds on one lap, something must have happened. Like I said, I'm taking a look, trying to see. Oh, in turn 2, he hit the curb, slid wide, lost all that time to Zach Goddard in the 29, but now trying to make it back up a couple car lengths away, deep into turn 1, and hit. Another tricky thing with all this gravel, Bryan, is when you want to try and make a dive bomb, who knows if the car's going to stick.
Exactly. When you want to go off the line, it's kind of exactly like racing in the rain. I mean, when you're trying to go to the parts of the track that are less frequently used, they still have puddles, they
Real
still
quick,
have gravel.
Alcrudo and Ryan for 26th. They are side by side. Well, they were side by side. Now they're not. Ryan tries it in the 36. I rudely interrupted you. Continue.
I was going to say, when you're trying to go offline and there's still gravel or rain on that part of the track, it's you got to be careful. You have to make sure you have a lot more than he is slipping mid-corner there, Stephen Ryan is. Because he was what I was just describing. He was a little off the racing line. He's losing a little traction, and it's just a little harder to keep together and pass.
Is everyone really running their own races? Looks like there's no side-by-side for the moment. I just want to update us at the race lead. Miguel Colon, 6.1 seconds ahead of Christian Oquendo. The last time around, he was 0.8 of a second up as Dan Carrillo has passed Luis Lopez, as Lopez off the road in the 077. That started the corner before. That was turn number 5, or turn 7, Savelli corner. Flip the dirt and off he went. Jeff Sepulveda and Jose DeLeo for 24th through the backstretch Biandetti chicane and into the Bucine corner, turn 15.
I'd just like to point out, if you're a driver in this series and you're watching this race back, I know there's a lot of new drivers in this series that might have missed the announcements that we make preseason. You notice how Jeff Sepulveda's car is red and his name tag is blue? Just go set your paint in the iRacing paint shop to red, just so it matches your Trading Paints paint, and get a nice little red on red.
It looks super pretty. Well, if you're watching like Brian's, you're watching
like
this
the
back,
Leo. He's got
help
a
us
white car. He's did it. He's got the white on white. God,
So-
he is just kicking up so much dirt.
Right on board Sepulveda. Oh! Sepulveda. Look at that! I was close. You didn't have any clue how to pronounce it a couple weeks ago, but he has it on his windshield banner, Bryan.
Does he?
Yes, that's
it?
why I just said. Look at that.
Sepulveda.
That's awesome.
All right.
Thank you. I apologize that I'm too blind to see that.
That's a new
That's awesome.
contingency. Everybody
I
do
love
that.
it. Can that be required, Ethan, if you watch this pack?
God, oh my God, there's so much. It's like a hailstorm.
All right. Off the road. Stephen Ryan off the road. Corritto battling for 27th. That chicane has gotten worse.
Where are they on the track right now?
Corey Allen, Jesse Coffey has spun in the final. As Will Roberts and Coffey made contact in the final corner, it looked like it was netcode. Roberts mentioned it. And around Coffey goes in the 808.
Okay, so it's the last chicane in sector 2 on the far right of the track map there. That is where most of the
From 10
incidents
to
tonight
11.
have occurred. Is that
Arperia and
that.
Pelagio. Okay. Incident between Jesse Coffey and Will Roberts. Under
Let's see what
investigation by
happened.
race control. Looked like mid-corner. I think Roberts just tried to make a move. Maybe slipped on the gravel. Well, he hit the curb. Pushed wide. There he goes.
I don't know.
Spins.
Coffee had a lot of track on the outside. I don't know. I don't judge. I don't judge road incidents. I don't know enough.
Jeff Sepulveda has spun on his own. And looks like he lost an on-corner exit. Incident is a racing incident because of netcode between Roberts and Coffey. That's a tricky one. We do that as well in NASA when, for those of you new, the netcode is the time it takes for the two cars to talk to the server, to talk to each other. There's a little air bubble, an air gap. Technically, according to the game, it says you crashed into him. Technically, you didn't. But you can't really penalize something that's out of the driver's control in that instance, Brian.
Miguel Colon, new fastest lap, 147. Almost 10. He's crawling up to 10 seconds ahead.
Second faster that last time around. He comes up to Donnie Heineman in the 64. About halfway through. So, about halfway through, as there is an incident under review from a race control. Rakenna not happy. Oh,
Rakenna just lost something.
Rakenna and Ryan came together through that chicane. Looks like they're racing in the rain. I said that 900 times. I know. I'm so sorry. But it's amazing in the worst of ways.
I just don't know. I'm going to back that up again. Yeah, I know you got a car on the inside. Why are you coming all the way down the track?
Oh, yeah. Rakenna drove like he wasn't there. Well, we're about halfway through here in Mugello. Pit stop should be happening soon, so we're going to step aside. You won't miss a thing as we're going to go ASN nonstop.
You're so interesting.
I love your browser history.
I like that you're not hiding anything from me.
By the way, nice IP address. I like your neighborhood.
You are so special. This ad is just for you.
I learned so many things from you.
You are so generous.
With your personal data.
Switch on privacy, switch off trackers and viruses. Go to NordVPN.com.
NordVPN. Safely be you.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Absolutely be doing what he has to do. He has to go for the championship. He has to recover the points that he lost. He's down the race, takes the lead in the 12. What a move. And he takes the lead and holds
Side by
it.
side between these two in the terminal. This is going to get spicy.
Exiting turn one, over the jump to begin the first lap, clog at the inside line. McLaughlin contact between them. They are still side by side. This opens the door for Wetz. He can't make anything happen. From the 26, he has not won in quite some time. Dragster acing the entry to turn one, up heading to the inside of Magnus, gives him a nudge. The grip strip on the inside, Phil. Wetz had a little bit better run, but looks like Magnus will hold the spot. We welcome you back to round 10 of season 6 of the TORQ Sports Car Series here in Mugello with Bryan, Sawyer in the production truck, and also next to me in the commentary box. My name is Josh Mertz, live on the Automotive Course. And I can tell you, while we were in break, I was trying to think of a cheesy joke / pun to tell you that, just kidding, it's NASA Rallycross with GT3 cars, because Bryan, Sawyer, it has gotten worse over the commercial break in that final chicane there. Turns
Yeah,
10 and 11.
I can't tell if it's still foggy or if we just got this much dust in the air.
It is bananas. Just a reminder before we continue to roll, cameras all season on ASN, no matter the series, no matter the track, brought to you by Whiplash SimCams. Be sure to check them out at facebook.com/WSimCams. And thank you, Andrew Cardinale IV, for your camera support. And if you like what you see /hear, because it might be too dusty and cloudy for you to see, be sure to like and subscribe to the Automotive Sports Network on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, and YouTube. And ring the bell to be notified of our live streams, currently only on Thursdays, but we will have Saturdays coming soon. We might have Fridays. NASA's coming back in March. We're going to have some TORQ IndyCar stuff, plenty of stuff in 2025, along with our short-form video content, courtesy of Jess Rakowski. If you'd like your content broadcasted by the Automotive Sports Network, or if you'd like to join the team, all the info is at asntvUSA.com. A couple programming notes before we get back to the racing action, as Colon passes Jeff Sepulveda on screen. We got the TORQ Sports Car Series next Thursday, the 19th at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Just a reminder, I will be out for that race. Justin Robichaux is going to be filling in for me, but you will have Bryan Sawyer next to him and in the production truck as well. We do have the Rallycross officials coming soon on Saturday evening. We got TORQ Endurance. I think Saturdays is the communication that we have received. We've got some other stuff planned. It's going to be super fun throughout 2025. So 9 seconds is the gap from Colon to Oquendo now. It's still half a second from Oquendo to Delgado. Nathan Kretchmer has ran his own race in the AM class. He is, let's call it 15 seconds ahead of Darius Timms. And I want to shout out Darius Timms. Another guy, and I mean no disrespect, he was what, 30th every single race? And he has gained so much pace, so much speed. He's second in class, 11th overall. So good run for the 31. And pit stops happening as well as Ian Bacadis exits the pit lane in the 000. While we were in commercial break, it was announced it was a racing incident that was between Stephen Ryan and Rakenna, I think, before we went to break, and it was a racing incident as Rakenna turned in on him, spun himself, rather, I think is what we talked about in the break, as Ricardo Delgado pits from the third spot, Bryan.
Yep. So we've started to see a few people start their pit stops. Let's see. We got a lot. We got a lot of those cars that have hit. None of the top guys have pit.
Ramos pits.
Right now we got Delgado in pits, Ramos in pits,
Wilkie pits,
Kretchmer in pits. So 7th, 8th, and 9th in pits, and then it looks like pretty much everybody from 15th back right now has pit, except Stephen Ryan. Stephen Ryan's in 23rd. He hasn't touched the pits yet. But expect everybody to come through the next lap, maybe two. Start finishing off those pit stops.
Will we see Delgado pass Oquendo? Will we see Colon have any issues with lap traffic? We'll just have to see. El Crudo passes Ramos. They're side by side in turn one. Ramos and El Crudo for 11th position here. This is the cross classes. Alberto Ramos in the 777 passes Kretchmer. Ramos slid mid-corner on the dirt. And Kretchmer to the 12th spot. As James Kingsbury exits the pit lane, loses a spot to Aaron Holroyd. Just trying to find a battle. We got Jose DeLeo and Delgado. DeLeo stays out of the way of Delgado. Move the 03 up another position. Jesse Coffey and Wilton Palermo. This is for the 22nd position, Bryan. Coffey passes Palermo. Palermo tries an over-under. It's cross-class, cross-pollination between the 808 and the 666. And Jeff Sepulveda pits. Colon pits from the race lead. Oquendo pits as well. Schofield pits. Ruiz pits. Coxon pits. Let's see if Zach Goddard does in the 6th position. He does in the 29.
Here comes
now
everybody.
Blown down the pit lane. Lights on like it's one of those foggy mornings. As the fog has not lifted. Still 67 degrees. Track is at 81. Track is cooling. Colon leaves the pit lane. Oquendo still up on the jacks. Where is Delgado? Delgado's coming off the final corner. Seguenza pits. Delgado down the front straightaway. Oquendo leaves the pit lane. Will there be a battle? Ruiz and Schofield and Coxon all get past. Up to speed is Delgado. Oquendo's going to be on fresh tires down to turn 1. The gap is still about a second into turn 1, but now Delgado's got warm tires. Oquendo's got cold tires. Not as extreme as the Indy cars on Tuesday, Brian, but still, even a degree of temperature more is going to help you with grip.
Well, I think Oquendo's going to be okay. Sector 1 hasn't been the big problem. I mean, these 2 chicanes coming through here, not a big deal. If you look on our track map here, we got Delgado going, or Oquendo. He's coming through the second chicane, ending on Sector 1. It's Sector 2, that back chicane on the far right side of the track map, where everybody's just been losing all sorts of grip. His next set of turns is coming up. We'll see how those cold tires deal with it.
The gap is 1.1 between the top 2. Oquendo holds it. Delgado a little bit wide on corner entry. Kretchmer has Alberto Ramos all over the rear wing of the 43 as the 777. And Zack Saunders sitting in the 10th spot overall, 3rd in class. Interested to see if there's going to be more strategy there.
Carlos Ramos
Mustang sitting in the top 2 spot.
David Schofield here for P5.
Carlos Ramos in the 993 behind Schofield in the 313. Couple retirements through this race. Have we lost Zach Goddard in the 29? What had happened to him?
I have no more Zach Goddard on the track, so
he went down the pit lane and retired in the 29. Something must have happened. Hope all is well, my friend. That's not normal of Zach. Couple more retirements. We had Juan Hidalgo disqualified for some lagging issues, some warping issues in the 023. Ed Boyles crashed with his teammate, Jeff Cartwright. Couple guys spun through this race. Alberto Ramos slipstreaming Kretchmer. This is the battle for the AM class lead down to turn 1. Cox in 7th, Ramos 6th. It's Schofield single file through the field, and Colon over Oquendo, still a 9-second advantage. Off the track is Cartwright to let Saunders and Allen through. Corey Allen has clawed his way from 20th up to 11th as the points leader. Pick a battle, Brian. All you.
I was looking at the Ramos Izquierdo Kretchmer one, but that's fizzling out. The battle for 5th fizzled out. That was actually 3 pro drivers, so that was for in-class and overall. But they're starting to spread out a little bit, so it looks like we're going to go back to Juanchi Requena and Guillermo Sagunza. So that just fizzled
not a
out.
battle.
I think that was a pit.
Seguenza was pitting.
Yeah.
Seguenza was pitting.
Yeah,
yep.
Seguenza was pitting. So Kingsbury on Palermo is what we got.
They are right behind Jesse Coffey in the 808.
Yep,
driving
coming through the trouble area. Yeah, it's
dirt
just
path, the rallycross course.
Up. It kicks up so much. It
Something
seems like
happened to Dan Carrito. He spun on the dirt in turn 2.
Oh, Guillermo Sagunza. Did he crash in pits? I'm gonna go see what happened there. Did you say he was pitting?
He's in the pit lane. Not sure what happened. Just an update on Zach Goddard. Mixed up pit lane speed. Thought it was 72 kilometers. It's 60 kilometers. After penalty, he was going to come out last. But he parked it.
Okay.
You have not lost all skill, my friend. You drove a rallycross track, basically. So
no, he didn't do anything. It was just counting him as slow coming out of the... So, Dan Carrito, though. Dan Carrito had an incident.
Did timemates say that they all crashed?
Yeah.
This is Carrito. This is turn 2. And it looks like, I think he just got loose on the gravel because he was not going to make that turn. And as soon as he maybe realized or the car gripped, it's over. Around he goes.
Yeah, sometimes
just an update.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Brian.
I was going to say, sometimes our internal timing says somebody crashed, like Sagunza. No, yeah, Sagunza did not crash on pit exit. He just was doing the right thing and being slow, not coming out in front of somebody. So,
Miguel Colon leads in the 87 by 9.7 seconds over second place Christian Oquendo. Ricardo Delgado in 3rd. Edgar Ruiz, David Schofield rounding out the top 5. Carlos Ramos inside the 993. He is battling Schofield for 5th. Coxon in 7th. Kretchmer leads Ramos Izquierdo in the 777 by half a second, and that is for the M-Class lead. And then 10th is Saunders, who's 5.8 seconds behind the 777. Allen, Roberts, Sandoval, Wilkie, and Timms through 15th. Zach Goddard's getting all crossed up as to what speed limits are on what tracks. That's okay. Don't
I
beat
know,
yourself up.
he's not even doing it in freedom units. He's doing it in kilometers?
What's a kilometer?
Great question.
So, 7 3/4 minutes left to go here in Mugello. And let's find a battle. I say let's focus on this AM-Class battle. This is getting good. 0.3 of a second between Kretchmer and Ramos Izquierdo. That was probably worse. I apologize. We're figuring it out on the fly.
Izquierdo.
Izquierdo. Ah, that was better.
Yeah, you get
I'm
better.
going to get roasted off after it. It's okay.
I'm either
trying my
terribly
best.
wrong or I'm remembering all the Spanish I took as a child.
I took a year and a half of French in high school. I'm no help in Spanish. Sorry.
Look at all that dust. You can't even see them.
Holroyd and Palermo for 17th. They are side by side. It's the 666
Oh,
and 73.
they got DeLeo
and
right
bump
behind
drafting
them.
is DeLeo. DeLeo says, "Get out of my way. What are you doing?"
DeLeo not happy.
Through
The
corners
Kingsbury's in
2
here, too.
and 3. Off the road goes Holroyd. Looking drivers right down to 6 and 7. Casanova and Cavelli, they touch. That was aggressive for DeLeo. That wasn't even per position. Class-wise, at least. Well, I lied to you because Holroyd's a pro car, so I suppose he's got to catch on to the back of that McLaren.
So Palermo falls
Got
back
Kingsbury,
behind
is that
Kingsbury as
Palermo?
well.
Izquierdo battling Kretchmer still. Half a second is the gap between these guys. And
This is
Kretchmer
where-
weaving, trying to clean off his
Man,
tire.
This is where you technically want to try and make a pass, but it's shut down. That chicane right there is just shut down. Everybody we've
Palermo
seen try and
came
make
over-
a pass through there ends up sideways.
Palermo came over voice chat very angrily in Spanish. And I, like I said, don't understand Spanish. I understand very limited French.
You understand.
But Palermo was not happy.
You don't need to know what he
Very
says.
passionate.
If it sounds angry, it's angry.
Holroyd, DeLeo, 18th, 17th, 18th, Kingsbury, and 19th, 20th, Palermo. 5 3/4 minutes left. Battle for the pro lead, non-existent. You're Miguel Colon, you're out and away from the rest of the field.
What's he doing?
Go back to this AM-Class battle because Kretchmer is struggling in the Mustang, in the 43, to hold off Ramos Izquierdo. In the 777, through 6 and 7, Casanova and Savelli, and into Aribata, turns 8 and 9. Just taking a look and seeing as Kretchmer won in Monza for sure. I can't recall, apologies, if he's won another race. Brian Sawyer being my pronunciation guide off monitor. I appreciate you. So, we take a look. Never mind. It's Ruiz and Lopez is off the lead lap. But Ruiz trying to get by Lopez in the 077. He has Schofield all over the rear wing, but I don't want to drift away from this AM-Class battle because it's for this class win. 4.5 minutes left, and Kretchmer beginning to blink in the 43 at the worst possible time, Brian, because if race control catches that, you still only get 3 strikes.
Yeah, you're right in front of somebody. You don't have to give up the spot because you're
Ramos looking right, looking left, and he hesitated on corner exit because Kretchmer wasn't there. We're side drafting in the Mustangs like it's Daytona Beach down the front straightaway of Mugello. Can Ramos get the spot for the AM-Class lead?
He's not
Side by
getting it on
side
the
through turn
outside.
1. Very slow, both hesitant, under acceleration. Down to turn 2. Ramos has the run, clips the curb, and they touch! As he apologizes over the radio, they touch. Here comes Saunders to the race lead in the AM-Class. And through the middle goes Allen. And that was a sausage curb.
Yeah.
Izquierdo hit the curb. Around his Holroyd from 18th. Comes across. Does not hit anything.
Yeah, we can take a look back at that. That's a pure racing incident. I mean, he's just trying to get around, touches the inside.
As it goes from bad to worse as Darius Timms from 15th has spun off the front bumper of the 777 as we take a second look, Bryan.
Oh, yeah, that's unfortunate. You think you just got just enough room, and then you clip the curb, and when the car regrips up, you're just a cannon. You're shooting forward. Holroyd loses it. What happened to Timms? I see Timms driving slowly, but I don't see that Timms crashed.
Timms definitely did. You can pull him up, and this should be it. I think that is Ramos Izquierdo in the 777, heading down to the chicane. He begins to lose it, overcorrects. There he goes. That's going to be right rear damage, too.
Yeah.
For sure.
You're going to the pits, and just deposit a brand new set of gravel to the track.
Will Roberts and Manuel Sandoval, the 11th place overall. Roberts had an issue in this corner a couple of laps ago. No issue this time. DeLeo and Timms just taking a look through the field here. We don't have to switch necessarily.
Oh.
But DeLeo ripped up off the corner.
I'll tell you, the big winner of that was Zack Saunders. I mean,
as DeLeo shoved to the grass from Darius Timms down the front straightaway. Off the track goes the 46. Timms knows he's there now, gives them the room. Ramos Izquierdo drive-through penalty for the 777 for the avoidable contact from race control. We should pick that up shortly. And DeLeo, what a move! Muscles his way through to 16.
I think we can actually grab that pass. This should be it.
Mid-corner, he picked up the throttle perfectly, had the grip, and you just got to take the run. Like Dale Earnhardt Jr. said once about the restrictor plate tracks, you don't hesitate. You take the run when you get the momentum, and it even applies here, like Schumacher and Barrichello in 2010 in Hungary, but the grass was the wall that day.
He says, you're not squeezing me. I'm taking this
DeLeo
spot.
says, I'm already driving a rallycross car right now, a rallycross track right now. What's the little grass to do with it? What's it going to do? Nothing. So,
well,
I do agree with your point. Zack Saunders, and I don't want to say luck in. I hate using that phrase in racing, right? But he had some, I think he had the same thing happen to him last week, if I recall correctly.
He had two cars crash in front of him right here, and you don't want to see two cars crashing in front of you because you might be collected. They were basically blocking the track. He said, okay, I guess I'm just going between them. Went right between them. He might have picked up just a hair of damage. I think
Colon off the track from the race lead. He clipped the curb. Saves it. Back on track.
Just trying to give you a little excitement.
One lapse in focus. Clipped the yellow sausage curb, and I thought it might have been over. He saved it. Jesse Coffey as Ramos Izquierdo pits in the 777. As we take a second look at our race leader at what happened in the chicane.
He would have had 10 seconds to correct it.
That's the thing, though. You get in your zone.
Yeah.
Think about Ayrton Senna in 1988 in
Monaco.
Yeah, you get in the zone too much, you can end up in the wall. So, Zack Saunders looking good for a second consecutive AM-Class win, but of course we don't want to speak too soon. Miguel Colon has about a lap and I'd say a quarter. We're going to take the white flag. Actually, we are on the white flag lap, so apologies. Race control has adjusted the time. This is it. So, through the final corner, I thought we were going to get 26 laps. It is not. It is 25. Off the final corner. Miguel Colon. Barney lied to me, but that doesn't matter. Another victory by 9 seconds this time. Colon wins, lights the flag in Mugello. Second place will be Christian Oquendo in the 21. Third place, Delgado. Fourth place, Edgar Ruiz. Fifth will be Schofield, then Ramos, Coxon. Through the final corner. The Golden Horseshoe somewhere. Let's pick up Zack Saunders, our AM-Class winner for the second week in a row in the 117.
You know what I'm wondering, Josh? Izquierdo got the drive-through. Did he have enough time to serve it?
I think he was on the pit lane. I think I caught him on the pit lane. Yes, he did serve it on the last lap.
Okay.
Oh. As the field rolls in, as Holroyd crosses the line in 20th, 21st is Ramos Izquierdo in the 777. It only took me an entire race to figure it out, but I figured it out, Alberto. Don't roast me, please. Ian Bacadis in the 000 in 22nd. Justin Doive in the 81 comes home in 23rd. And Morgan Smith, Jeff Sepulveda just filing in as we still look at our race winner, Miguel Colon.
Led all 25, even with the pit stop. It's impressive. I think he's going for those too. Every week he pits last, or on the last available lap to pit.
As while we await our top 3 in our AM class winner to jump in the media pen, let's take a look at the classification here in Mugello. Our victor again, Miguel Colon in the 87. Christian Oquendo, then it's Ricardo Delgado rounding out the podium. Edgar Ruiz, David Schofield, Carlos Ramos, Bryan Coxon, AM-class winner Zack Saunders, then Corey Allen, Nathan Kretchmer, Sandoval, and Roberts top 12. Wilkie, Coffey, DeLeo, Timms, Kingsbury, Palermo, Alcrudo, Holroyd, Alberto Ramos Izquierdo, Ian Bacadis, Dustin Doive, and Jeff Sepulveda through 24th. 25th, Dan Carrito, and it's Juan Chiriquena, Morgan Smith, Stephen Ryan, Luis Lopez, Rafael Sosa, Guillermo Seguenza, Donnie Heineman, Jeff Cartwright, Zach Goddard, Eddie Boyles, and Juan Hidalgado disqualified for some lagging issues earlier on. Fozzie Fazillo never started, and obviously Ethan Halsey up in the race control tower. Let's take a breath. As look at this. We got a formation. Are we going to do some burnouts on the front straightaway? Can we do?
I think we are.
Welcome to TORQ. We're going to figure it out. Oh, we're going to get a picture. Okay. Is Saunders on track as well? No. Saunders is in the pit lane, burning it down in the Mustang. And this is, oh, this is the top 4. What a shot.
Was it
top
the whole
5.
team? The whole team?
I don't know. Mostly Puerto Rican guys, I think. There's Sim PR and there's Sim Racing PR, but I classify that as all the same team. There's like 10 of them.
So now we're doing the street takeover.
I love it. And these guys, the TORQ community as a whole, super wholesome. If you have an issue, you reach out to anybody, they'll help you. There's plenty of, it's just a good time. There's a QR code on the ticker if you'd like to join. I forgot to mention that throughout the show. And Delgado's broken his rear wing in the 03.
Okay.
So
he doesn't need it.
Oh, okay. This looks like the derby that I attended at the the Route 66 Speedway. Yeah, everybody's crashing them.
There we go.
All right. So we are Zack Saunders is in the media pen. So if we can have a chat with our AM class winner first, I guess, Bryan. And then
yeah, sure.
Give
him 1 second.
Hopefully
here.
and see.
See if we're good.
You let me know. We'll be good to go. So
should be.
We're going to bring in our AM class winner first. Oh, I hear myself internally. Well, no, I don't. We're good. Zack Saunders. It's Josh and Bryan in the booth. You got us?
Yeah.
I got 2 questions. 1, talk me through how apparently you went from driving a GT3 car to a rallycross car today on the gravel-strewn track that was Mugello. And my second question, talk me through that incident for the top 2, and you just snuck through it. The floor is yours.
Yeah, that rallycross and man, that was something. Yeah, I had a lot more problems than rallycross, and it got. I don't know if it was just because I got behind the guys in front of me, but it got wicked tight, just everywhere, and I don't know if I just burnt the fronts off or anything like that. I also couldn't see a thing. For some reason, my wipers did not have a button bound, and I drove with a dirty screen or dirty windshield for 15 laps or whenever I pitted. So I also had that problem. Yeah, had a good battle there with Kretchmer there at the beginning, and then I just kind of just fell apart. That's usually what I do. and then I don't know if those guys didn't take tires or something, but I took tires so I could get a button bound for my wipers, and came back, and I don't know if I was going to catch them or not. I knew they was battling, and I was putting in some personal best times there, catching them. If they didn't have the incident, I probably would have been right with them there on the last lap, maybe for a move, but can't really tell. But yeah, that I thought I thought it was gonna be way worse. Seeing them come around turn two, just seeing them sideways but going backwards. I was like, oh man, where do I go? And your spotter saying going high, and I found a spot low, so I went low and just put my head back down and made sure I wasn't going to go off the track the rest of the race.
As we commented throughout the entire race that it was getting worse and worse, and it's crazy to think you drove the first half of that race without windshield wipers. That I commend you, because I go 3 feet. I go 3 feet in the Beetle light on a rallycross track, and I have to hit my wipers. It would drive me up the wall. So, anyone you'd like to thank for second consecutive win for you, my friend?
Yeah, thanks to Raika again for setups. I actually ran a Suzuka setup because they don't have a Mugello setup. And thanks to Ethan and the guys and you guys for putting on a really fun league and really good broadcast.
Thank you, my friend. Good run, and we'll see you next week in Suzuka.
Yep.
We have our third place man overall, Ricardo Delgado, in the 0-3. And thought through the pit stop rotation that you might be able to get Oquendo. You were within half a second at one point, but then it just, I guess, fell apart. So talk me through your race, and especially the rallycross nature of tonight's race with all the gravel.
Oh yeah, now it's almost rally race for us with all the update on iRacing. I almost got him on the pit stop, but when I got out, I got traffic and held me up. So maybe if I hadn't had that lap car on the out lap, we were able to get closer on his pit exit. But for a race, like I told you, I was hoping to be at least on the podium with those kind of tracks.
As I guess my next question to you is more of the same for the last couple weeks, or are you going to do anything different, or what's the game plan?
Hopefully we can stick to the top 3. We'll see how it goes.
Alrighty, my friend. Anyone you'd like to thank for the third place tonight?
Yeah, like always, guys, thanks to you on the broadcast, making an awesome job. Thank you to Sim Racing PR. We almost got a top 5 all from Puerto Rico, but we got a friend that we gotta work with on the pit stops. But we'll see if maybe we make it happen. Okay.
Alrighty, my friend. Good race. We'll see you next week.
Thanks.
Christian Oquendo. It's Josh and Bryan in the booth. You got us? So, a lot of the interviews have been the same. Main question is, how was the rallycross nature of tonight, given all the gravel? And what's it going to take to catch Colon and beat him? Because the pace that he's shown is immense. So I guess walk me through your race as well.
So I'm going to start by saying that I kind of mentee Miguel Colon, so he owes me being a little bit fast. I was showing him that his monster still got something still. Luckily, before the races before, I was having the stutter issues, and I got that fixed, and I managed to have a good finish today. So at least I passed through here to say hi once per season, and this is my token for this season. Catching Miguel is going to be really, really difficult. Basically, I need somebody else to miss the break at turn 1 and make it easier for the rest of the team. But other than that, it's going to be really difficult.
And yeah, the gravel, you almost had your wish with Colon hitting the curb on the last lap. But I'm assuming the gravel was pretty tricky. So what's the game plan going into the next couple weeks at Suzuka and VIR?
So hopefully I'm going to make a GoFundMe so that they can pay the track workers a little bit more and they can clean the track. Other than that, it's just try to manage my brake whenever I see a lot of gravel on the track, and manage not losing that much of basically the entering the corner, missing and going wide, which almost a couple of times happens. But we were also taking a conservative saving fuel, which helped not go over and losing that traction.
Good run tonight. Anyone you'd like to thank for the second place result?
Yeah, basically, as you can see, the top three, the Sim PR team, we have been practicing, making sure, and little by little, as you can see, we have been getting better and better. So I want to thank all the Sim PR team. Also want to thank Ethan for having a great league, and you guys for having a great broadcast. Whenever I couldn't race, I had a good time watching the rest of the people race. So thank you guys.
Appreciate it. Absolutely, my friend. Good run. We'll see you next week in Suzuka.
Yeah, take care.
It's the man of the hour. Another win for Miguel Colon. Mastered the Rallycross Grand Prix / GT3 race of Italy. And there was no mistakes until that last lap on the curb there. So, yes, my friend, talk me through your race. Floor is yours.
Yeah, I would say with the new setups update that iRacing did, basically no setup work for the McLaren, so I was just basically using fixed setup with small tweaks. And then Okendo, I had to say we tried to get the top 5 with everybody from CPR today in the race. I think we had to work with Carlos on his fuel strategy. He keep messing up every race, but we're gonna get him better. But I have to say thank to Christian Okendo. I started racing sim racing because of Christian Okendo. He got me into all this. So he has been guiding me a lot through all this thing of my iRacing venture since early 2018 area. But overall, good quality. He surprised me with his quality lap. I was like, okay, I may have to push a little harder for my second quality lap to steal the pole from him. But then I was trying to not make no mistake, and then Okendo was always saying, "Oh, we have to hit the sausage because in the Porsche you can hit the sausage." It would messed up the whole car. And in the last lap, I made a sloppy mistake. I actually hit the sausage, and the car bounced completely off the track. So I was like, just trying to save the car. I almost lost it over there, but overall, very smooth race.
As Bryan, you got anything for our race winner? Another win for you. That's 5. What is that? 5 wins out of 6 entries. Incredible. And if I'm looking at the result, that is 1, 2, 3. All your wins in the last 6 weeks. That's crazy. Bryan, you got anything?
I just gotta say, good job holding it together through there. We saw a lot of people loop it and lose it, and it's not easy to hold it the whole time. So good job there.
Thank you. Yeah, once I came out of the track with the new gravel, I went to the downhill kink. The car started sliding. I was like, okay, so I just hold the steering wheel straight and trying to not make too many input and let it roll. It got scary a little bit over there, but we saved it, so that was good.
Anybody you'd like to thank for yet another victory tonight, my friend?
Yeah, thank you to you guys for the broadcasting, Ethan for putting the series together for everybody to let us have fun here and race as a group. Thanks to the whole group of CPR. We try, we're gonna work hard to see if we could get more people into the top 10 from the CPR and keep helping people to get better. And then also we're gonna say hi to Armando Arends, that he's not racing, but he's in Finland in his Christmas trip on vacation, and he's missing these races, so I know he will be crying because he's not racing, but I want to say hi to him too. So thank you guys.
All right, my friend. Good run tonight. We'll see you next week in Suzuka.
Thank you. Bye.
Alrighty. Let's take a second look at the classification, or we can take a look at points, Bryan. It's up to you. Do we have points ready when we're ready for them?
We got both.
Cool. Miguel Colon, Oquendo, and Delgado our podium this evening. Ruiz, Schofield, Ramos, Coxon, Saunders won an AM, Allen, Kretchmer, Sandoval, Roberts through 12th. 13th, Chris Wilkie, Jesse Coffey, Jose DeLeo, Darius Timms, James Kingsbury, Wilton Palermo, Miguel El Crudo, Aaron Holroyd, Alberto Ramos Izquierdo, Ian Vacatus, Dustin Doive, and Jeff Sepulveda through 24th. And our last page, Dan Carrito, Juan Chiriquena, Morgan Smith, Steven Ryan, Luis Lopez, Rafael Sosa, Guillermo Seguenza, Donnie Heineman, Cartwright Goddard, Eddie Boyles, and Juan Delgado. Ethan Halsey race control, and I don't think Fozzie Fazzillo ran a lap. So 37th and 38th, I'm not sure why they're popping up. The Drivers' Championship, if we've got this, it's Corey Allen, 13 points on Edgar Ruiz. Ricardo Delgado up 2, Colon up 3. Colon's in 4th, and he's missed like 3 or 4 races. That's wild. Honestly, with the last 2 rounds of the championship, who knows what can happen? Coxon, Ramos, Dime, Schofield, Carrito, DeLeo, the top 10.
I'll tell you what here.
In the M class, without
yeah.
Armando Arends, 23 points down in that championship. I think it's going to be Arends' drop week, so that's why he's kind of benefiting from that. Darius Tim's 1 point back in second. Saunders, Chang, Seguenza, Vasquez, Fazzillo, Ryan, Palermo, the top 10. And in the team's championship, Sim Racing PR has cracked the 1,000-point barrier. Unofficially, I'd say they're going to win that championship.
Yeah, I was going to say
Sim PR, WBM Green, Midwest Motorsports, EHM. We take a look down the order there. In the Manufacturers' Championship, Porsche, 6 points up on McLaren. It is neck and neck in that championship between those two. That's broken, but I can at least read it. I can read it to you. Porsche 664, McLaren 658, Ford 599, Ferrari 474. Please, hopefully I'm not losing you. Corvette 322, BMW 295, Lamborghini 207, and Mercedes-Benz with 96. So, just a reminder that cameras all season on ASN, brought to you by Whiplash SimCams. Be sure to check them out at facebook.com/WSimCams. And thank you, Andrew Cardinale IV, for your camera support. And if you like what you saw and heard tonight, be sure to like and subscribe to the Automotive Sports Network on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, and YouTube. And ring the bell to be notified of our live streams. Currently on Thursday, we will have Saturday. Of course, when NASA comes back, we'll have it multiple days during the week. Something for everyone in 2025, along with our short-form content courtesy of Jess Rakowski. Bryan Sawyer, give me a final thought, and we'll close it up.
That was interesting. I think we've learned a new button that needs to be pressed for GT3 races, clear track between sessions. iRacing, you might want to put that on by default now, because it used to never be a thing that road races needed. I think they're going to need them now, because you got a 45-minute practice. That's a lot of dirt on the track.
Now, you gave me your final thought, and I professionally forgot about programming notes. Let's pull that one up, and then we'll get my closing thoughts here. Just a reminder, round 11 of the TORQ Sports Car Series next Thursday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern from Suzuka. I will not be here. You'll have Justin Robichaux filling in. I'll have sinus surgery Monday. Who knows if my voice is going to be different? That's kind of scary and exciting all at the same time. Bryan Sawyer is going to be hanging out with Justin that evening as well. TORQ Sports Car in VIR. And then the Rallycross officials. Who knows on Saturday what's going to happen? Just keep an eye on ASNTVUSA.com. Final thought from me, NASA Rallycross is not until March. I'm not sure what's happening with the TORQ Sports Car Series with that, but I said that everyone should come over and race in NASA because now they know how to race on a mixed surface. Just a reminder, like I said, there should be a QR code on the ticker if you'd like to join in TORQ. Super awesome community, and it's just growing in 2025. Yes, Bryan.
You know what we could do? We could pay them all
Bryan?
to just show up and run like 45-minute practice, and then we could have a rallycross race on any track.
That's a good idea. You're distracting me from my outro. We'll talk about that after the race. But Miguel Colon continuing his dominance. Zack Saunders, golden horseshoe somewhere with another win. And it's getting better and better with a couple weeks left. As the checkered flag has fallen on the evening. From all of us at the Automotive Sports Network, from Jess Rakowski, Victor Valley, Justin Robichaux, Josh Darnell, Ethan Halsey, Cody Erdman, and Bryan Sawyer. My name is Josh Mertz. We hope you enjoyed today's coverage of the TORQ Sports Car Series. Tonight from Mugello, we congratulate Miguel Colon and Zack Saunders. Be sure to join us next week in Suzuka. But until then, so long, everyone.